Can see the edges. No, there I am. I'm still here. So yeah, that was from Space Patrol, which is like a 1950s show that literally had 900 episodes, but it was sort of like locally produced in Los Angeles. So I didn't know about. I mean, it looks just like a Jerry Anderson puppet show kind of deal. Yeah, and it was originally in black and white. Somebody colorized some of it. I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to try and make something out of it. Maybe that wasn't very cool. Anyway, welcome. Um, I'm trying to. I've got a couple of things I've got to do. I finished. There's a couple of things I got to do. I gotta. Okay, here's the things I got to do. This is some fan art from Air Rider. I don't know if you can see it. It's all washed out. Fan art from Air Rider. I've got to ink it. Tuco says, I thought it was from the 80s when a couple of stop animation shows tried to run. Yeah, well, there were a couple of weird ones. I like stop motion animation. In this case, it was a puppet. They were done with puppets in the 50s. And so if you know the Jerry Anderson stuff, like Captain Scarlet and the Mistrons and Stingray and Fireball XL5, those were much better produced shows in England, but they use the exact same style, with the puppets. And I think this is obviously somebody who had seen those and said, I want to do something like that. I think it was a lady too who did this one. So I got to do Air Rider here. And I also have to do this character sheet. And you can see I want to have all these skeletons crawling all over this. Like this has to extend all the way around the border. Just bunches and bunches of skeletons on this character sheet. So I have kind of a rough pencil there. Definitely check out Stingray and Fireball XL5. I'll put it in the chat. They're really good. Fireball XL5. By the way, when I say good, I mean they're old. They are really good though. And Stingray, Jerry Anderson. The guy he later, like when he modernized, he did a show called Space 1999. If you remember that show. Remember Space 1999? That was the show that we got a lot of in the US. And he had a show called UFO. What is he well known for? He did a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of really interesting things. There was a Western. Okay, so I got that one. I finished the main piece. This is kind of like I don't know what it's going to be used for. I think it might be used for a cover, but it's this is supposed to be an ink mage, and I got this one. I got this as a job through email, and it was pretty good. And they said, "Can you get it kind of turned around pretty quickly?" And I did. I can show you what it looks like in its raw form. Hang on. There it is without the tones. And this is kind of where it started life. Whoops. I actually did pretty good on my roughs. My roughs are getting a little bit stronger. Just kind of roughed it out and threw all this stuff down and ended up using these tones. And the tones are pretty cool. I took the tones out. I gave them both versions. This is not everybody likes the screen tones, so. Yeah, Space 1990. There was toys for Space 1999. I remember a lot of kids had the Eagle spaceship. I think it was called Eagle One, which is a pretty cool spaceship. All right, so I got the character sheet. I got that one. I've got a blank piece of paper here. It should be a blank piece of paper. Yes, it is. And I've got to do 4 horizontals. These are like column breaks, or they go at the bottom of pages on a book. So for somebody who's doing a role-playing game book, he just wants 4 scenes, and we don't know what those scenes are yet. I'll have to come up with some ideas for something to put at the bottom, but it would be something like, I don't know if you used any of this one. This is a slightly different book, but I did that one. I did that character sheet, but I can tell why he wants them. He isn't using them. There's a cover I did. But something that goes kind of at the bottom. I'm looking to see if I have a role-playing game book like at hand. Oh, I got Isle of Dread right here. Is this for Goodman Games? No, I wish it were for Goodman Games. That's kind of like my dream job is Goodman Games. Speaking of which, but like in terms of game design and the aesthetic, these that's kind of what I'd like to go for. And you can see how they kind of fit these designs into the page, like something like this. And by the way, when you look at this picture right here, it doesn't look like it's signed. Maybe it's signed really small over here, but I can just tell you that's Timothy Truman. Famous for comics, right? He's known for comics. He's known for a number of cool things. Scout, I think, was one of his comics. Let's see if I can find another Timothy Truman on here. There's one right here. This one's signed. This is super early in his career. He was doing D&D stuff. I think this is like these Rakasta cat people from basic D&D. There's another Truman right here. When I see stuff like this, it gives me a lot of hope because I'm like, I'm close to getting here. I'm close to getting here. Oh, this is the Isle of Dread, the very famous Isle of Dread from D&D. This is a reproduction, so it's like, the original module is like this thin, and Goodman Games expanded it into this gigantic thing. This is a new Errol Otis drawing for it, in fact. But every sixth grader's PC should have the chance to ride a Battle Tiger. I agree. But this was kind of my introduction to guys like this is Bill Willingham. Speaking of another comic book artist who started with D&D, and Willingham, like, he improved quickly. But if you look at some of his stuff, here's a Jeff D. If you look at some of his really, like, his earliest stuff, like in the basic handbook, there are some great pieces, but you look closely at him and you go, oh, it's kind of rough. It's a little rough around the edges, Maybe I could get that good. It gave me a lot of hope to look at. Like, for example, look at these are these sort of lemur people. And that's a Bill Willingham. And if you look real close, this looks like something that you could do, that you could figure out. What's another Tim Truman? He did quite a few of these. All right. Well, anyways, what's this? I don't even know what this is. My poor excuse for a DM screen. And then later on, they kind of expanded this and added all these other things to it. Further adventures on the Isle of Dread. So that's what I need to be doing. I want to be working on something like that. Oh, I love these dinosaurs. All right, well, anyways. Oh, so Tuco, if you like the old modules, they expanded. That's just... they did 7 of them. This is the second one that they did. They did Castle Amber. I've got a bunch of them. There's another one sitting right over there, and I can't read what it is. They've got Keep on the Borderlands. Can you pencil over Gesso? Yes. Gesso is just like it's basically a white chalky thing that you're doing. Get them for the artwork style. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I love about it. It's like when you look at some of their earliest stuff, it kind of gives me a hope. Like I'm there, I'm getting close to there. I'm not saying I'm as good as them, and I'm not. But it's like it's less out of reach when you see how good they are now, right? Or how good they were 10 years later when they were seasoned, artists that were really working a lot. All right, so there's several things we could and should be doing. One is my spot illustrations. I need 4 of them, and I've got to figure out what they are. I just got to make. He said just use your imagination, make up whatever you want. I'll buy 4 of them. I got to do this one, which is going to be this kind of big pile of skeletons all around the border. I don't know if you can see it. So it's just going to be skeletons all around. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. I'll send you an invite. Hang on. The other one is trying to remember where I am. Oh, I've got about half of the current page of Rabbit Fighter to go. So hang on one second. I'm going to send Sideburns an invite. It's going to take me a second. Control-V. Here you go. All right. I think that's correct. Yes. Okay. As far as a 600-page sketchbook, I've got one. You've already seen my 600-page, or I think this is 800 pages. So this is an 800-page sketchbook. Yeah, the paper quality is low, just so you know. All right, where's my pencil here? So I'm looking at this and I think I did his hair wrong. If his head is like this, it should kind of go like back this way. I'm just manhandling this ink on here as far as there's not a lot of like finesse going on. So it will help the paper. There are ladies that do those coloring books, like the adult coloring books. I say ladies because I've never met too many guys who have done the adult coloring books. But one technique, and it's a really cool technique, to improve the paper quality so that they can use, because they want to use all these other art supplies, is if you want to use watercolor, for example, or you want to use watercolor markers or certain kind of markers, you can get this stuff called satin glazing liquid. It's definitely kind of a thing for like these kind of they're ladies of a certain age usually. Apologizes. I actually I'm interested. I'm not good at colors, my problem. So this stuff is called satin glazing liquid, and if you put this on paper first, if you prepare your paper either with gesso or something like this, it will beef your paper up, and you'll be able to do things like watercolor markers and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, the coloring book world demographic has widened a lot recently. So is it becoming more popular? I mean, it is kind of fun. I would do it. I just suck at color. I even thought about like maybe I should put out a coloring book or something like that. That might be fun. One of my favorite YouTubers, Peter Draws. You've probably seen him. He does these crazy doodles. He put out a coloring book that's really interesting with some of his crazy doodles in it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He's hilarious. Did you see the video he just put out where he did a piano recital? He played like a minuet or something. I have to admit, I watched the whole thing. I was like, I was rooting for him. I'm like, that's awesome. What a, kind of a really brave thing to do. Not just filming yourself doing it, but to like try and pick up um, piano so late in life if you're not really a music lessons kind of guy. He went ahead and decided that's something he wanted to learn. No, it's totally not a troll. It's exactly what it says it is. And he had like a couple of friends there, and he thanked his teacher, and he played the piece. I'm wondering if I should have this thumb out, maybe a finger out. I'm going to leave it like this for right now. It's just an easier hand position. And then maybe the real action's going on in this other hand. Anyway, hope everyone's having a nice Saturday. We're having kind of a weird Saturday. My girlfriend had got this. She had decided to upgrade the thermostat in the house. It's her house. I do not own the house. I am a renter. But she decided to upgrade it with one of the Google Nest. And we came downstairs today and it was not working. So, and it's kind of cold. So I have a little space heater. And the space heater works good. But it just turns out there's something, I don't know. I think it's something to do with the Wi-Fi or the charging or something. We don't know what it is exactly, why it's not working. But it's definitely not working. Come on. All right. There we go. There we go. How much does a bottle of that satin glaze? I don't think it's that expensive. I think it was like $7. It was yeah. But I've only used it a couple of times. But you're not supposed to put it over the stuff. You put it down first. And what it does to the paper is it lets you blend more. So if you have watercolor pencils, or if you have straight up watercolors, or if you have watercolor markers, they'll blend, and it's kind of amazing how far it'll go with just the pre-treatment of the paper. But if you put it on like after the colors, it'll make everything just kind of mush together. So you make sure you have to do it before you actually start. It's like you have to prep your paper with it. All right, I'm looking at this. His arm looks too weird. Let's see. This should be underneath. Oh, I watched. Okay, I see. I watched a. Hang on. Yes. Okay, it's the same thing. Tuco. You could use either one. I think they're both good. The satin glaze. So I think is better for like watercolors, or it says it works, increases translucency and working time for blending and glazing acrylic paints. I was using it on these really thin, I had these kind of thin paper sketchbooks, and it worked pretty good. All right, hang on for 1 second. There we go. Where is it? Pause. Hang on. I was about to add sideburns, but he just, whoops, he's got to restart his computer. All right. Anyways, fun stuff. I don't often do these straight up profile shots because I feel that they're awkward, but sometimes they're required to do an awkward shot to tell the story. All right, so in this particular panel, he's opening up a panel on this giant robot hand, and I'm hoping that it'll yeah, I'll have to put the sound effect in there to reveal a corroded argentite battery. And like argentite is like this form of silver that badly affects werewolves. And she's a werewolf. Ballpoint pen, ink, and ink wash. Well, I can just tell you, you can't go wrong with watercolor paper. The 600-page sketchbook, I think it's good. It's a good starter. And here's why: you won't feel too precious about it. You'll just keep going. And the danger, of course, with sketchbooks and sketchbooking in general is you're gonna, if you get a super nice sketchbook or something and you mess it up, and you're gonna draw something that's not great, and you're gonna go, I ruined it. And you can't tear the page out, and if you do, it looks even worse, and suddenly it becomes a problem. But if you get like one of these, like, this is basically just a blank book, the 600-page sketchbook, you won't feel too bad, I think, about just keep going. And that's what I recommend, is just keep going no matter what you do. If it bothers you, keep going until you finish, and then you can hide the sketchbook or throw it out or do whatever you need to do. But get to the end. I know 600 pages seems like a lot. I do the Michaels ones. All right, this is supposed to be the hand. Here's the fingers. This is kind of how I drew the hand right here. I'm using my hand as a model. Yeah, put the finished pieces in another book or something else, right? Exactly. That's a great attitude. All right, let's see what I got here. I think back when I first started drawing like Rabbit Fighter and I was drawing Gallows, like the art was not great. There's actually even there's a Marsh Lee like interview, and he when he did the thumbnail, he said, "Can I use this picture of your character?" And it was Gallows, and I said, "Sure." And I look back at it now, and it's like, oh, it's terrible. I look so bad. And it was just a couple of years ago. And probably I'll look back on this and say it's bad too, you know. But that's a good thing because it just shows that you keep improving. This is a bullet hole or an impact crater. All right, let me throw some background sounds on here. I know I have some. That's true. I've even thrown some stuff out. I kind of regret it, you know, in a lot of ways. Things I've thrown out, but you can't keep everything, that's for sure. Look at all the stuff I have piled in the basement. It's just I kind of just stuffed it into a box and threw it in the basement. It's supposed to be like grass and stuff around him. I think I made his head a little bit big. But we're definitely in the realm of don't delay and act today, right? It's, oops. What background music is this? It's something called Space Atmosphere. I don't know. I found it on Wondershare. So, Tuco, when you get to the point where you're live streaming, and I'm sure you will at some point, it's a constant struggle to avoid copyright infringement. You have to just keep looking for stuff. I was kind of looking at my stuff. Hang on, I'll show you my Bandcamp. I actually have my own music, but I don't record music anymore. I play a bunch of instruments. Hang on. Bandcamp. License. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna share my screen here. Screen. All right, so this is my Bandcamp. I have like 3 albums here that I did. Hang on. We'll pause it here. You can see it's under the name Mistron now because I changed it. But I did this one. This is like a single that I did. I'll put that on for a while. This is lap steel mostly. I was trying to do this band thing with a friend of mine. It was Chris Yao. I did an interview with him. And they really, Chris can't drive. He doesn't have a license. So like getting pain, and he moved further and further away. So eventually we couldn't figure out how to make a band. The eyeball is too close to the bridge of the nose. Well, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe if I bring it back a little bit. I'll just admit that I'm not great at profiles. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna throw down our speech bubbles. Okay. It's too thick. All right, and then we're going to flood fill. Whoops. Do a little bit right here. Oh, my song already ended. Hang on, I'll put on another of the amazing. Hang on. Whoops. Add to stage. Let's see. So most of these, I only have like, oh, I got a bunch on here. This is me too. Hang on. All these people hear this? So that was me. Hang on. That was actually resonator. I mean, it's distorted, obviously, but it's like an overdriven resonator. So resonator is like one of those guitars with a big silver plate on the front, and it's that one is probably not too far. I'm looking around the room. I think it's in the basement, so maybe it is a little bit too far out of reach. I just really got into all these kind of roots instruments. So like the resonator or the dobro, you might know it as a dobro. Although technically Dobro is the brand name. It's like Band-Aid or something. There's Dobro brand resonators. Or national guitars were big silver guitars. Those were the all metal ones. The one I have is like a wooden one with just the aluminum resonator plate inside. You know, you've seen one of those before. All right, so this is Screen Tones, and Screen Tones turned out to have been kind of a cool idea. I did a video this morning about doing a gradient wash with Screen Tones. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know Justin Johnson. I've supported several of his Kickstarters. I have lots of his music. I love Justin Johnson, and I have some Cigar Box guitars. I was really into that for a while too. I'm looking to see if I have one of those like nearby. I probably do. I've definitely got a banjo over there. Let me see if my Cigar Box guitar is within reach, because it's pretty close by. Well, the answer is no. I was thinking it might be nearby. I can see a bass in the corner. My banjo is over on the right side. Okay, hang on. We're going to add. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. I'm trying to look for the. There you go. Hooray!
For whatever reason, my mic
you get a short applause this time. Sorry, what's that?
Okay. For whatever reason, my mic won't connect to my computer.
So. Oh, that's annoying. Hang on, I'm gonna play some of my music. This is from when I was trying to be a musician. It's really just goofing around. This is just for fun, hobby stuff. All right, hang on. Let's see. Where is me? I'm still on there. Okay, here we go. I got one more. I got a couple more songs. Let's see. Okay, this is one off the other album. Hang on. I did a bunch. This is when I was still doing stuff with Chris, but this is just me. All right, here we go.
I won't check that. Nope. God.
There we go. Was that too loud? Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm glad. Glad it takes no. No.
If it's too loud, you're too old. That was I can't remember which guitar I played on that one. It was one of my electrics, I guess. They're open tuned though. I started open tuning my guitars back then because I was trying to play slide. And I just made this guy look really old, and I don't know if he's meant to look that old. It's all in the wrong layer too. Don't you hate that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool though.
That's what I was doing before I was doing comics. Goofing around with music. All right.
I thought I already finished.
What's up?
I thought I was doing a page. Yeah.
Have you lost track?
I was like, I'm working on the up on start today. A little golfing as well. I can show you this.
I'm looking at my face and it's not symmetrical.
The other one.
Nobody's face is really symmetrical, I guess.
Okay. It's a pretty good face. Did some epoxy with some black dye, epoxy resin, black dye.
Oh, how's that going, by the way? I saw that you did you mention that you dumped the old paper?
Well, I didn't dump it; it just broke. It was broken.
It just broke.
It wasn't really good.
Was it recoverable? Like, is it just like you guys start over?
I don't know. I didn't want to recover at that point. It was chipping away at pieces, and I think a book might have landed on it, and
that's
broke it.
So it wasn't your fault. That was something landed on it.
Thing, and then the leg broke off. So I just decided I'm gonna make a new one and just use. I'm kind of also playing around with resin, like epoxy clear resin, but adding some dye to it. It's very scary. It's like a venom symbiote. This is like a test for see how the dye affects it.
So Tuco says your audio is cutting out, which I also think your audio is cutting out.
Let me see. I have a new microphone.
Well, it's funny.
Well, right now it's what I have to deal with. So
yeah,
there's nothing much I can do about that.
No problem.
Audio. I can look in settings. I've got it set to the new one. This is what I'm using right now. So if you're gonna blame something, blame the product itself. It's right here. It looks pretty cool, neat with its called the Saramonic.
Oh, cool.
Got a wind mic for so when I'm outside, it'll isolate my voice.
Just in case you want to do some plein air painting.
Yeah. Maybe I'll clip it in a better spot. Sometimes that helps. It's right next to me right now. So yeah. There's not much I can do about it right now. For whatever reason, my mic just won't work. My current one.
I'll put on the I'm gonna
Like
put on
when
the
it's on
soft
desktop.
background music.
I actually
Whereas-
work at computer more than iPad. Let's put Studio specifically. I will pause the just the screen for a moment. Switch places. So I actually did this last night, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to work up. I'll just take care of my. I like my characters a lot. I gotta actually work on myself. That's something. Anyway.
Whoa, we lost you. IT professional.
Did you hear what I just said? Though?
I heard like 1 out of every 3 words.
I think Olivia. You're right.
I think it's cool that you're doing sculpture, though. I just I saw Craftsman. If you follow Craftsman, who does a lot of epoxy sculpture, he just posted this really interesting Kickstarter. Too expensive for me, but it has a comic book with it. It is it's some kind of like these little monster creatures. Craftsman.
This is why I don't like live stream a lot, by the way, guys. Like, simple things can go wrong. Simple.
Tuco, is it too loud now? Oh, that's really
Not
cool.
too loud, he just can't hear me, right? Or is it too...
Oh, he told me the background music was too loud.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit loud.
Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out. I can't find. So it's on. I'm going to close it down. It's on my Bandcamp, and I it's got a like a little play on browser thing, but I couldn't find the volume on it. I was like, all right, well, I'll just let it go. It is what it is. All right, here he's got the toga. But he's also got bandages.
I bought a new pegboard recently from IKEA.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm trying to use it so that it'll keep like tools off my desk, keep the things from crowding on my desk, and also go like another bookshelf that's just a waist height. So that should help out probably a ton. So
my work area is so unorganized. I've got to figure out how to fix it. I've taken over like an entire, dining room table at this point.
I like working at a dining table actually.
It's big.
Big. There's like if you're on one side, you don't feel like you're overcrowding space. You can watch, and you could put up your laptop and watch some TV, like show if you wanted to. It's a really interesting work, like a space. You also interact with other people, like a girlfriend.
So, unfortunately, I've got 2 monitors, a giant printer. I took over. Like when I say I took over the whole table, I took over the whole table.
Yeah, it is what it is. So cool.
I took over the long side. I gotta fix it.
Okay, I got this thing. This is probably that. If I find it ever. I believe I saw it.
I need to make this look like it's a battery. I'm trying to figure out what that might look like.
I was moving a lot of stuff around. What if I just hold on?
Go ahead.
Well, I can't use my mic, my head because they'll sound probably.
Does that look kind of convincing? A little bit. I just got a Kickstarter that I backed that I quite like. I don't know this person. I found their comic on. It was recommended to me on YouTube. But it's this dude. He did 3 comics in one, so it's kind of like a little mini anthology. His name is Brendan Boyd, and look at it. It's Silver Age. He did a Silver Age style book. The first one's kind of a fantasy story. He used I mean, it's full color, but he's definitely using the Debaser style Ben-Day dots, halftones and stuff. I don't know if you can see that on there. It's not focusing. It would be really hard to see. Second story is more like an Iron Man type story, but with a kid. So a little bit more of a modern superhero one. And then the last one is a science fiction story. And I think were they all illustrated by the same guy? Hold on. So Nicholas Millara, he used 3 different illustrators: Marcus Cripps, Nicholas Millara, Sean Peacock. I bet I could illustrate this dude's stuff. I think I'm close to his style that he's going for, like the Silver Age style. It would not be a huge leap for me. I might send him an email. So anyways, pretty pleased with this. These are good comics, actually. Shape comics. I liked them. Whoops. Trying to get a nice smooth, smooth line there. There we go. Feels good. Once again, I'm on the wrong layer. All right, about to be fixed. So, if you're still paying attention, Tuco, or anybody else, I want to show you kind of an interesting trick with inking. Once you've got your foreground, like you're closest to the camera picture here. Well, Tuco, I would just do the art part. The coloring is not the art. The coloring is it. Yeah, actually, by the way, this is proof that the coloring isn't the art. The guy that wrote this and didn't draw it, he did the coloring. He actually, the colorist is the writer. All of his artists, he's got illustrator, but he has himself listed as writer and colorist and letterer. His lettering is not bad, actually. I like this one. He knows how to use the panel border, but he could do better. I wonder if he's using like a lettering kit. Probably the illustrator did the sound effects. I actually kind of like the way he did it, though. I'm quite pleased with the comic. I like it. These are good. These are good lettering ones. Good balloons here. Yeah, a lot of artists split up the task of writing, penciling, inking, and coloring. I think that's true, and I think that's unfortunate. If that sounds self-contradictory, I apologize. But the reason that those jobs are usually split up is for expedience in a professional comics environment. So, for example, if you are a comics company and you got to put out comics every month or, dare I say, every week.
You can use mine if you need to.
I need to.
Yeah.
It helps to split the work up. But like when you see these indie guys do it, it's really weird to me.
Huh?
Like where they have
No, it's okay. That's all right.
different team members assigned to everything. Why? Why are they doing that? They're just trying to recreate. They're like, this is what comics are made. It's like a cargo cult. We'll make a straw airplane, and that'll make airplanes land. But like, you don't need to split the job up at all. Yeah, it's a standard of the comics industry to get a smooth workflow. There's a book that you should read, and it's an interview. It's a long, extended interview in book form between Frank Miller and Will Eisner. And Eisner especially would know, because Eisner wasn't just a guy who created the Spirit and who is known for comics. Arguably the creator of the graphic novel. I don't believe he was, personally. But Eisner directed a whole comic studio too. He kind of ran Quality Comics, and one of the comics packaging studios under Kessler, I think, or something like that. I can't remember, but he managed other artists. So if anybody knew about splitting those jobs up, it would totally be him. And he did work with other people, but he said, the best comics are when the writer and the artist have the same skin. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the OGs, right? The guy who created the Spirit, the guy who created Captain Blackhawk, the guy who, first published Plastic Man. That's Will Eisner. Mostly known for all kinds of other things too. Mostly those are like Captain Blackhawk is one he almost never gets credit for, but he is the creator of that character. Let's see. Among others. But he also just managed the people. He managed the artist in the studio. He managed Basil Wolverton. He managed Crazy Fletcher Hanks. He managed Al Jaffe. He gave Al Jaffe his first job, Al Jaffe from Mad Magazine. Like, Eisner did a bunch of stuff. And he's pretty well known for, he did comics with other people too, but he's mostly known for kind of doing it all as just him. And she's got kind of a Betty and Veronica look to her. She always has. Although it started out as me not being able to draw is why that she had the look. But anyways, where I was going with that is you can do it on your own. And it's more work, obviously. But that is certainly a normal way to do it, especially when you think about how the comic book comes from the comic strip, the newspaper comic. And those were very traditionally done by one person, maybe with assistants. I don't know if Hal Foster had an assistant. I know that later on in his career, Al Capp had an assistant, and it was Frank Frazetta. I wonder if I should have her arm up like, oh no. I think I'm going to leave her arms down because she has her arm up in the next panel. There we go. Too thick. All right, so anyways, if you have your main character with thick outlines, you can push the characters behind further back by using thinner outlines. Then it'll make it seem like that character is further away. And then if you want to actually even do some shading, the thicker part of the line is the line of facing away from the light. So if we have the light shining down, we might be able to thicken up this line, this line, this line, possibly this line. It kind of becomes a moot point because he's leaning forward, so we're going to do some shading with the screen tones too. I'm forced to kind of draw this on the spot. Oops, I didn't do pencils. Sometimes I forget to do the pencil part. But it frees you up also in all kinds of ways if you don't have to wait for the penciler to finish a pencil, you know, finish a page. That helps you, that gives you some freedom. Tuka says, once it didn't usually at least one assistant keep up. I think that's maybe possibly true. I mean, like one of my idols is Al Cap. I think of Al Cap all the time, and Al Cap's first job was as an assistant. He was an assistant on Palooka Joe, and I forgot. I think his name was. He turned out to be really crazy. Like whenever Al Cap went on to do his own thing, the guy was insanely jealous and was trying to destroy him. He eventually killed himself. The other cartoonist. He killed himself with jealousy at the success of Little Abner. Which is a terrible way to go. I'll probably just demonetize myself, LOL. All right, anyways. What's up?
Do you monetize your stuff, your videos?
Yeah.
No, not you, man.
It was me. It was me all along.
Two people. I close my door.
All right. I'm about to do some screen tones here. But first, before I do screen tones, I think I need to do some more texturing. Rabbit Fighter is fuzzy. Like Usagi Yojimbo. I've been reading Usagi Yojimbo lately. Have you ever read any of those? They're actually really good.
Yeah, I read the Space Usagi.
Oh, Space Usagi. I haven't read that one. I just found out about it last night.
It's pretty cool.
I was enjoying it so much, I was like, I'll look up his wiki page, Stan Sakai. And that one was mentioned on there, and I'm like, I wonder what that one's all about. All right, I have a bad tangent. Let's fix it. There we go. I'm giving her kind of an awkward look here. I'm trying to figure out where the horizon line would be behind. Maybe about there. They're supposed to be off in the wilderness somewhere where this junkyard of old robots is. That's not going to look right. That's just going to look weird. All right, we're going to throw down some more speech bubbles. Here we go. There we go. I've got to design a whole ship for this, and I haven't designed it yet. They're supposed to get on this sand sailor to sail across the desert on like a ship, like a sailing ship, but it goes across the desert. That is going to be a bit of a design challenge. Okay. Throw down the white. Boom. Erase the extra lines. Of which manga are we talking about? The one, which one? By the way, Sideburns, he's asking about what your display is. Is it a Cintiq or a Wacom?
A Huion.
A Huion. That's the Korean one, I think. I think I have one too, but I don't have the good kind. I have the
It might be
one that doesn't have any display to it. Crud, what is going on? Okay, hang on. Huion is a great way to get started, though. If you want to get like a starter one, get one like just the one that doesn't have the display. They're pretty inexpensive. The ones like you've got one of the nicer ones.
I got it on Black Friday.
Nice. They also have the XP pen is also pretty popular as well.
No.
I was gonna get one, because I do everything else on PC. But I think my destiny is the iPad. I'm not even an Apple person, really. Man, you cannot beat it for me. I know you have a different opinion. All opinions welcome. All right.
What?
About
opinion?
iPad versus the Clip Studio Pro style.
Oh, whatever.
Because you use both.
I prefer this more. It's not like I go out green. for one.
I tried to figure out CSP and as you know, I failed at it. I was unable to figure out how to.
I think I would like Procreate if it was on a tablet, not that exclusive. There's a chance I would like.
Oh, see, okay. Tuco says he's got a Huion. XP Pen is more budget friendly for pen displays. Okay, cool. I'm trying CSP, but hardly anything out there to teach you. Yeah, I have it as well. I had an impossible time with CSP. I really struggled with it, and it was super frustrating. I couldn't wrap my mind around how it worked. And, with Procreate, it's kind of like you make a canvas and you draw on it, and there's nothing that technical about it. However, if you're having that problem, and I'm not saying you are, there are art programs that you can just draw on, like Corel. I think one of them even comes with the tablet, like Corel Draw or Corel Art or something like that. Or a couple of them. And there's also what's the one that you can get on Android tablets? Metabang. Sounds like it might be something naughty, but it's not. It's just that's what's the name of it. Metabang and Krita is the other one. Krita. And I think there's even some other ones. I even actually downloaded one, and I even tried it out. I didn't get very far on it. I think it might be gone now. Let's see. Is it still on my iPad? It is no longer there. I go through and I delete stuff from time to time. Yeah, I don't see it.
I got so flustered yesterday. Well, also like reorganized work. Yeah. Because there was like a big shelf, and I was moving that around, and I had to take things off of it. There was action figures, books, stuff of that nature, and sometimes it gets like put those in a pile, and you gotta like knock something over, and it turns like to a weird Rube Goldberg like situation, like things just fall over one after the other. It gets frustrating. And then so yeah, I was kind of flustered after like successfully moving my desk towards the wall. I completed that, and I got the shelving up on the right where I want to be. It's really cool, actually. It's very, it's opened up the space, which is cool. But it left me just feeling flustered, like until I went to bed.
I get really so my action figures are a major. The collection it's grown too big, right? So if I just show this to you, hang on.
You have a glass casing, right?
Yeah, it's a glass case. It's right there. And if I don't know how long this cord is. It's that whole thing is all my action figures.
Sweet.
And I just got into this vintage stuff. Whoops. They're called Ajax Archer figures. Whoops. That's not right. Like this.
I think we should just make it a meme that we have technical issues at this point. Like,
yeah,
that's the whole meme of this.
It's clutter, and I gotta figure out how to.
It's cluttering time.
It's cluttering time, yeah.
Looks like it's houses, house specifically for
a bigger knick-knack shelf. The Timmy Battle Mountain. The display, but really it's just to make it so I can organize stuff better. So I'll show you what this is. Hang on. It's really silly.
Goings on.
Let me bring it up first. Hold on. Timmy. So in the U.S., and this might be elsewhere too, but these are U.S. made, and they're from old times. This is a Timmy. Hang on. Present. Share your screen. This is the Timmy Battle Mountain. It's like a Castle Grayskull for action figures. It's $25. I have mine is green. Where's the green one? They come in different colors. Battle Mountain. And I also got some these things are called Ajax Archers. Ajax Archer figures. And I can't find any information about them. All I know is they're really old. They're from the 1950s, but they're not that expensive. So it's like, you know, having a couple of Ajax Archers is kind of cool. There they are, right here. These kind of black and white dudes, right here. I don't know if you can see them. Hang on. So let me stop presenting your screen. So here they are. I've got two of them right here. They're made out of this really cool, like, kind of hard plastic, and these guys, both of their rifles are broken. They have little rifles, and I've got a couple other guys in some different poses. But the sculpts are wild. I love this look, this kind of retro spaceman look. So I'm happy with those. It was just cool getting the black one and the white one, and just I kind of imagine the kid that had those in the 1950s. Like, what was his life like? All right, I'm going to draw some clouds. There's some clouds. And we're going to get ready for some tones with a Z.
You heard of Russ Lee?
Russ Lee. I'm not sure I have.
Russ Leach.
Oh yeah. I totally know Rush Leach. Yeah.
He's
getting around lately.
He's doing a I think it's a crowdfund for a kind of like story. It's kind of vein of Conan.
It looks like a Conan-esque story. I backed his Only Death Will Save Us. I mean, he's kind of like kind of a semi-pro. Like he did Doctor Who for a while, and How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way in the UK. Like he was one of the main artists on that.
I bought Only Death Can Save Us, like the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it'll be on Race Pistols though.
He's like I say, he's a friend of March's. I really like him. He's a nice guy, cool guy.
He likes the Bronze Age.
He loves the Bronze Age. He's a big fan of John Buscema, and well, it makes perfect sense that he's doing a Barbarian comic now. So yeah, I just saw that he's doing something new. One of those people I wish I was as good as he was. Man, something to strive for.
I know. Well, he's good. Good. I don't know personally, but it's cool.
Oh, I love seeing stuff like that. Like it's inspiring when you see somebody who's really got it going on. But he's like I said. I kind of knew him from the Indie Volt group that kind of imploded. He still I think he's now even hosting sometimes the this, I think it's called Sunday Funnies with Randy Zim and occasionally Luke from Crowdfunder. Every once in a while, I'll be at work and I'll see them talking about something that I think is kind of interesting. Like one time they were going through some Jack Kirby stuff, which I was really into. So I'll pop in and watch that for a while on their streams. I have a hard time going on to the you know, back the Crowdfunder streams because they're really boring to me. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
we're
they're
at
kind
this
of a sales
goal.
pitch in a sense.
Yeah,
You're basically watching sales pitches happen. It's fair, you know. I don't like I like the Alterna like channel a lot.
yeah.
I don't watch their like auction. I know they're there for like promote, which I respect.
I respect it too. I don't know. You got to have something else, something more. And this is one thing I think that, you know, for all the criticism that people like Ethan Van Sciver get, and it is like a lowest common denominator show, it's very entertaining. Like, you got to make that stuff entertaining. Otherwise, there's no reason to really tune in. And he does all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, he was wearing costumes all the time at one point. And he genuinely does bring on funny people. There we go. All right, let's see if I can. But when it just becomes like the sales pitch show, I could no interest in that. I do like the there's a show called The Brofessionals, which has Graham Nolan and Aaron Lopresti and Dan Fraga. I watched that one because they're usually talking about like some really good historical comic stuff that I'm interested in, and I've never been disappointed with that. Andy Smith. It's kind of funny. I was buying Graham Nolan's comics before I even knew anything. Like, I bought them years ago. I bought the original Monster Island comics and the Return to Monster Island. Didn't know who he was at all. I just saw them one day and I thought, I've got to have that. Monster Island. Sounds like it was made for me. All right, here we go. Tuka says, I'm surprised the girlfriend has not made you declare the basement. I do want to declare the basement. I want to get maybe the future for me is some kind of storage unit or something. I've got a bunch of like old guitars and stuff. There's a bed down there that I want to get rid of. Some old clothes, you know, that just probably just need to be thrown away or donated. I've got boxes and boxes of books and things that I need to get rid of. All right, final panel.
I'm still on panel 1. So glad.
I'm a little worried about her head. Let's see. How about like that? I'm guessing we wouldn't see her ear.
There's a meme. My friend shared a meme.
Uh-huh.
It shows it. The first thing shows what Paul Atreides looks like in the movie. It shows Timothy Chalamet,
Yeah.
and the next part is what Paul Atreides looks like in the book. And it just reads Paul Atreides. It's silly.
True.
Another one that is. Oh, what's this one? Yeah. Maybe I will. But
Oh, I've done this at a really awkward angle. Oh, if I don't fix this, I'm gonna have to redraw it.
that's a cool custom sculpt. Oh, the Three Musketeers, yes.
Yeah, that's the the Three
Chevy
Amigos.
Chase, wait, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and the other. Who's the third one? I believe.
Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
I'm sure.
Martin Short's the short guy.
Destiny.
I won't even say that. Like, there's so that those action figures, you have to get them on like I said, they're custom, and it's like $175 for the set. You can only get them as a set. They're handmade. And he also has the original Ghostbusters, like in the jumpsuits with the proton packs. I'm looking at this. She's supposed to have this sort of headband thing. Oh, what's missing? Her little wings. Yeah, I love the Three Amigos. One of my favorite movies. I think I squashed and stretched her a little bit too far. Says True Grit Texture has a couple brush sets you want, and would never make a Three Amigos today. Probably not. Which ones? Which ones are you interested in? Should bring up True Grit. Normally we might think of these things as almost being like, oh, it's a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. That really does change your capabilities. It's like getting a different instrument. It's like you added electric guitars or something. So Beat Tones is what I'm using. Actually, I'll show you which ones I'm using. Craftone is one of them. Yeah, somebody really Marsh got Craftones just recently from Marsh Makes Comics. I say recently; it was like 6 months ago or something. Hang on. So there's Craftone. Now that's color formula brushes, and the way it's done, it's kind of cool the way it works. Hang on. Yeah. So they're called 4-color comics because you just have these 4 colors and you're kind of laying them in to do it. It seems like it would be a lot of work in a lot of ways to sort of layer this, but it does give you a really cool effect. So I don't have those. I have beat tones, which I think are awesome. I actually have Stipple Studio. I got this as kind of the where it was like the make your own bundle. My girlfriend got it for me. Stipple Studio, beat tones, and Chromograph. And I hardly ever use Chromograph. I also have Rusty Nib. I got that as a different thing. I think maybe I got 4 tone things. Chromograph, I really want to use more because it's all pencils. And it's super analog looking. This looks real pencil-y to me. And it has like the really cool pencil blenders. I use this speed fill a lot, and some of these other ones. Yeah, Craftone's cool. So one of the things that they also make, I think it's them, is Debaser. And I got into Debaser, and I really like the look of Debaser. It's a color kit for doing distressed colors, but it's a lot of work, because you gotta. I don't want to deal with that. It's like a. I don't like this. I suck at here so much. It's so hard. This is what Ulysses was saying. Whoops. I think it's close to where I want it. Her teeth are out of control. All right, here's her hand. I don't think I'm the best at drawing hands or anything like that, but I'm way better than I used to be. Hands are hard. Let's try. Trying to think of how I could make it look like she's starting to change into her werewolf form, because she overcomes it. She doesn't change.
Hop out real quick.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna change the music. So he said, I have Rusty Nib, Chromograph, and Color Mark right now. What's Color Mark? Let me check that out. Hang on. Color Mark. Oh, Studio Markers. So it's basically it's kind of like a Copic marker set almost. Looks like. I have a Copic set called Copycat or Copicat. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. It's not. It wasn't. That was not a True Grit. It was just one I found. All right, tons of tangents going on here. She can't look like she's smiling. She has to look like she's distressed. And then for her eyes, this doesn't look right. Bring back my All right, let's see if I can get her basic form in. I think what the problem is her eyes are too far apart and they're too big. I've fallen victim to the anime eye problem. An easy thing to fall victim to. Trying to figure out where to pose this other arm. Like maybe it's down here. Something like that. I think I should have her like looking at her hands. Well, I think I've pooched it. I think I might have to redraw the eyes entirely. It's not going well. Hold on. Hard to avoid, right? For some people, that's just naturally how they draw. They're just used to like drawing these oversized eyes. Um, and in her case, I want her to be kind of like struggling to maintain control. She's trying to avoid turning into a werewolf. So I don't want to give her casual eyes. You know, I could easily do this with a more casual look. But I want her to look more kind of distressed. Cartoon language, that automatically says distressed, right? The little sweat bullet. It does if your name is Al Cap. Speaking of which, not Al Cap so much, but I was thinking about Usagi Yojimbo, which I've been reading lately. And he doesn't stress too much. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he just kind of, like, if he gets to something that's too difficult, he'll just draw it in the simplest way possible. He doesn't go for realism. He goes for almost a Sergio Aragon style cartooniness. Even in like real serious panels where like a character is getting killed or something like that. The Stan Sakai style is not, he's not afraid to just cartoon it up. In this case, I think we're going to have to just be okay with what we got here. All right, this one kind of finger goes in. If your pinky goes in, like it does like a little curly cue. And your thumb, I'm giving her like a manly thumb, which I didn't mean to do. I was thinking of having her like, yeah, so it's like she's starting to change. So I was going to put like some. But on the next page, we're going to see, and I haven't got the next page drawn yet. You can see that there's only, this is it. I can make a new page right now. But I've still got to do all the pencil drawing for it first. All right. We are at our last 10 minutes of the stream. I'm wondering if this should drape down this way. She has this kind of half cape. So the costume, she used to just wear like regular clothes. Her costume comes from, I just Googled Greek goddess costume, like Halloween costume. And I looked around and I kind of combined one that I thought looked pretty good. All right, we're going to use some focus lines on her too. So I'm going to use a different layer for that. Layer 18 now. Canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, perspective, bip, 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 and there we go. I better be on the right layer. I am. Oof. Almost every one of these panels, really every one of these panels, comes from Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work. Maybe not this one. But like compositionally, that document never fails. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to erase everything, whoops, that goes outside the boundaries. Oh, I like Chromograph. I haven't gotten too deep into it. I've used just the fillers and a couple of other things. I like it. I want to do more pencil drawings. There used to be a really cool zine called Tiny Pencil, and it was just straight pencil drawings, and it wasn't comics. It was just weird pencil drawings, and I really enjoyed it. Long gone now. Hang on. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a use tones to fill in the background here. Fine and feather, you say? I'll check it out. So we're gonna do like I'm gonna do a quick circle. So this is a quick circle, like that. So I'm going to try and be real careful to keep my pressure at the same, although it's impossible to do. Okay, then I'm going to darken it in behind some of these lines. Thanks so much, Sideburns. Have a great weekend. Thanks for dropping by. I am almost done. We're just in the last couple of minutes. I'm gonna That's too dark. That's looking about right. Okay, I have got one last thing to do, and then we're going to call it a day. I'm going to thought bubble. That's it. I think we're done. We finished a page. Yeah, these are the beat tones. Like all the halftones that you see over here are beat tones. Now it's only black and white, so it's not like the craft tones or the I think is it the craft tones? It's not like that. I think it's the craft tone set. But basically you get two kinds, and I'll show you what the kinds are. All right, we'll just show you on the next page. So they give you the static tones, which are like this. Let me find them. Beat tones classic. So they're not pressure sensitive, and they have like several different layers. And you can even do these cross lines, 45-degree lines. This is how duotone looks. So like those old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles duotones have the that kind of look. But then it also has the shaders, and the shaders are pressure sensitive. So the shaders are, you can go light. Actually, I may make it bigger. You can go light, or you can go dark, or you can go light. And it's a much finer grid, and then you can go all the way to black, and then kind of peel off, and then they have blowout. So you have some pretty cool effects that you can do in there. You could even do it. I mean, you can almost get it to the point of it looking like a wash. Which is what I did here with the background here, is I tried to be real subtle with it. Tuco says you can use those for your grayscaler and the new colors on top of those. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Although the craft tones might be a better choice for that, because the craft tones are kind of like a combo of that exact thing. It's the colored Ben-Day dots. So I like that they do both. So there's beat tones and craft tones. The beat tones are better for me because I only work in black and white. So that's kind of where I'd got to go. I would just have to keep changing it to black and white. The craft tones are giving you that 4-color capability. But yeah, I think that's really cool. It kind of sucks that you'd have to get both sets to get the full effect. Especially if you want to work in color. If you want to work in color, you're making the right choice. Absolutely. All right. That's it for me. I finished a page. It is what it is. I might do some more corrections, but it's as good as done. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll be back next weekend, and we're gonna just keep on going, keep on moving on. I've got a lot of other cool stuff I got to do, so I will see you later.
I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.